if I were trying to build lean muscle and lose fat, there's 4 specific things that I would focus on. And the same thing I tell all my clients to focus on. Number 1 is, when it comes to your workouts, focus on strength training and not long bouts of cardio for a couple reasons. Number 1, the more muscle you have, the faster your resting metabolic rate is, which means at rest, you are burning more calories than when you're doing cardio. When you're doing cardio, you are only burning calories while you're doing the cardio, and then when you stop the cardio, calorie burning stops. So focus on strength training as the first priority, and then the second piece of that, you can incorporate like some HIIT training, some sprint training that's really gonna work on fast twitch fibers. The other part of focusing on the strength training that's super important for building lean muscle and boosting fat loss is when you're doing cardio all the time, especially long periods of cardio, it puts your body in a stressful state. The stressful state is going to increase your cortisol, and it's going to make you catabolic. That means that your body literally starts to eat away at all the lean muscle you've worked really hard to build in order to get the nutrients it needs to supply the energy to get through the long periods of cardio. Now, you can correct that by incorporating different fuel sources of carbohydrates, some protein for the long cardio, but that's a whole other thing, and I would make that secondary. So number 1, focus on strength training, heavy lifting, 6 to 8 reps, full compound movements to build lean muscle. The second thing that I would focus on if I was trying to build lean muscle and boost fat loss is understanding nutrition. And I'm not talking like calories in, calories out. It is much more than that. Your macros actually do matter, and I would say that's the thing that made the biggest difference for me is, number 1, making sure you're getting enough food. Because if you are under eating, you are going to slow down your metabolism, increase cortisol, and everything is going to be counterproductive, and then you're going to store belly fat and you're going to feel like crap all the time. So making sure you're getting enough calories, which I have videos about how to figure out your macros, but the most important thing is making sure your protein, carb, and fat ratio is in check. If you're getting too much fat and not enough carbs, you're going to throw off how your muscles use that fuel. If you're not getting enough protein, you're not going to build anything. So in order to build lean muscle, you need to make sure you're getting enough protein and carbs. The biggest mistake I see people make, clients, people sending me messages, you start cutting carbs when you're wanting to build lean muscle. Your muscles are made of protein and glucose. We store carbs in our muscles. Don't cut carbs, don't cut protein. You can reduce some fat, but you still need a decent amount of fat for hormones, for heart health, for brain health. So understanding your nutrition, and the best thing to do is to work with a nutritionist or to educate yourself on the kind of macronutrients you need, which if you need help with that, I have a free guide in the description below where I talk about the top 3 functional labs I think every active person should get that shows your metabolism, your micronutrients, nutrition status, mental health, hormone health, gut health. All of that is going to be a huge important factor in your nutrition and building lean muscle. But it's not just calories in, calories out. You need to know what your daily caloric intake is, how much you're expending so that you know you're in a deficit and not a surplus, but then making sure you're getting enough protein, carbs, and fat to sustain energy while building lean muscle. That's number 2. Okay, number 3, what I would focus on if I were trying to build lean muscle and boost fat loss that nobody talks about is optimizing my sleep and recovery. In this situation, well, actually any situation, more is not necessarily better. So training 6 days a week with no off days, no recovery days is going to do more harm than good because it puts your body in a constant state of inflammation, which when your body is inflamed, that creates all kinds of health problems, gut health, mental health. Also though, when you're more inflamed, your cells actually become more insulin resistant. So the more lean muscle we have, the more insulin sensitive we are, which is great. But if we're not sleeping and we're not recovering and resting and letting that inflammation and the repair process happen, then we become insulin resistant. Also, That's part of how our muscles get stronger. We grow and repair in rest, not by overtraining. Overtraining is probably one of the biggest mistakes I see people make outside of poor nutrition, that I highly recommend optimizing your sleep and recovery. So if you're working out super hard 4 days a week, you need to have equal amounts of rest and recovery in there. So that means sleeping 7, 8, even 9 hours a night if you can, and taking off days where you just let your body repair. Okay, number 4, last but not least, if I were trying to build lean muscle and boost fat loss, I would look at proper supplementation. Notice this is last, not first. Don't go out and buy a bunch of supplements if you haven't started fixing your workouts and your nutrition and your sleep. With proper supplementation, big problem a lot of people have is they are overdoing supplements in what they don't need, and they are underdoing what they actually do need, key vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that are essential for your metabolism, for your gut health, for lean muscle building, for mental health, all these things. And a lot of times you buy these multivitamins and all these supplement companies that are just a one-size-fits-all dose that are not actually formulated to you. So what you need to do is get real testing done. Don't just guess what your body needs. Find out what you are actually deficient in, and then give your body the right amount and the right kind of that. And what will happen is you will see your metabolism turn back on. You will see your inflammation go down. Your hormones will get better. Your sleep will get better. Workouts and performance and energy levels will get better. And if you don't know how to do that, the free guide I mentioned of the top 3 functional labs every active person should be taking that your doctor is not running, there's a link in the description below where I walk you through all of that, what they test, what it means, all that good stuff. But when you are not getting enough of the right micronutrients, not just your macronutrients, you can be eating right, getting your carbs, fats, and protein in check, doing your workouts, but you're still going to have little cogs in the wheel that keep your metabolism in your body from running optimally. So that's number 4. And if you need more help with this, I got links in the description for that below. But for right now, you can check out this other video that I have on how to find your exact macros for your needs. See ya.